You're watching E.T.N. Entertainment-related new, entertainment-related discussion. Share and subscribe.
Hey guys, welcome to Entertainment Talk Nation. This is Rob. This video, we're going to talk a little bit of Godzilla. In particular, we're going to focus about basically giving credit to the Godzilla fan base. And I know that's going to sound crazy because oftentimes you talk about the fan base and we talk about how toxic it is. And we're going to get into that in a second. Before we do, I was on vacation. That's why I haven't been around in a week. So no reason to be alarmed. I'm still doing my thing. So first thing, I know there's a lot of Godzilla news to catch up with. We're going to talk about all that on a live stream Wednesday night at 9 p.m. Why am I not doing this live stream any sooner? Well, because myself and many of my subscribers here on my YouTube channel like to watch wrestling Mondays and Tuesdays. So I don't want them to miss out on a great stream. I also don't want to miss out on the wrestling. So Wednesday night, 9 p.m., it's going to be exclusive Godzilla talk on the channel Wednesday night. And then Friday night, we're going to do another stream. This is going to be a hybrid because we're going to talk more about whatever you want to talk about. Godzilla, Marvel, whatever the case may be. But I'm also going to be streaming Final Fantasy Brave Exvius. It's going to be my first Brave Exvius stream. That, however, is going to be on Twitch. One thing I love about that game is that it doesn't require a whole lot of attention depending on what you're doing. So I'll definitely be able to conduct conversations as well as play the game. So that'll be fun. That'll be Friday night, probably between 9 and 9:30. But it's going to be on Twitch, just so you guys know. Also, I want to talk about the Patreon. I got a lot of people trying to access the Nation Facebook page. If you're trying to get into the Facebook page and you applied to get in and you haven't gotten a response, just so you know, you have to be a Patreon subscriber to be on that page. Now, you don't have to be, it's only $1 a month to get on the page. That's just to support the channel and to support all the things that I've done here and that I am doing and that I plan on doing. We have a long-term goal on the Patreon, but to attain that goal, we need support. So if you guys want to support, that's one of the perks. It's the $1 perk is to get on that page and join the community. And I did that because twofold. Number one, I definitely want a certain crowd in the Nation Facebook page. The admins on that page are fantastic, and they've done such a good job over the last couple of years, really making it a page of quality over quantity. I remember at one point we had about 6,000 or 7,000 people on that page. Now we're down to about, 1,500. A lot of the people that are on that page, a good portion of them are Patreon supporters, but there's also people on there who are not Patreon supporters, but they've been with the channel for so long that they're grandfathered in, they didn't have to, and then we booted a lot of actually like fake accounts or, accounts from other countries and that, they just randomly go around joining groups. And then some people decided to leave for whatever reason, but we have a good core group there. So from the time that I started my Patreon up until whenever, if you want to be part of the Nation Facebook page, it's exclusive for Patreon members, and that's it. So if you decide you want to support the channel, you only need to take the first tier, which is only $1 a month, and then you get access to that. And then of course you get to, interact with me exclusively because I am very active on that page. So just so you guys know, that's why if you haven't been accepted, that's why. Also, some of you did answer to the question that you do support or you are supporting me on Patreon. Just so you know, I can check your name on the list. I know who's supporting and who's not. So either you're lying or you have a different Facebook name from your Patreon name, in which case you need to reach out to me and let me know that's the case so I can grant you access. Finally, I announced like 2-3 weeks ago the winners for the Godzilla Funko Pops, the glow-in-the-dark one, which was for a Patreon exclusive, and then the regular one, which was for the whole channel. And those winners were Rich Mackey and Adam Wesley Stryker. I have not heard from you guys at all. Zip, zilch. So, this is a bit of a final warning. You guys have a week, 1 week, to reach out to me so you can get these Funko Pops. Okay? If after a week I haven't heard from you, then I'm going to reshuffle and hand them out to the new winners. Because, you know, I have another giveaway that I'd like to plan, and I want to get this one done and keep the ball rolling. So, all right, now that I'm done with all my updates, you know, I've come back from vacation, and I continue to see this whole argument with Star Wars and the fans versus the production teams and whatnot. And I got to say, you know, I'm over here playing my thing. Don't mind me. There's something stuck here. We as Godzilla fans have gotten toxic. We know we are. We know we've gotten toxic, and every fan base does. But I got to say, one thing I got to give to Godzilla fans that I don't think Star Wars fans appreciate as much is when we wait a long period of time for another Godzilla run, you know, where we get a series of Godzilla movies or a series of Godzilla content, we really don't take for granted. You know, we know that it's not going to last forever. And we know that, you know, it may not be everything we like. You know, a certain movie may not go the way we want, or certain content, whatever they do, may not be what we want. But for the most part, I think we all, as Godzilla fans, appreciate what we get. You know, I think I can say for the most part that most fans appreciate what they've gotten in the last couple of years between the 2014 movie, the new Netflix series, everything in between, even the game. Like, I wasn't a big fan of the game, but I know there's a lot of people who did like the game. And I look at the Star Wars war going on right now, and I am getting to the point where I'm getting sick and tired of hearing about it from both sides. Like, every other fucking video is this thing about Star Wars. I get it. I don't like the fact that I did a video about this a couple of weeks ago, and I was trying to be, you know, down the middle, and I'm going to continue staying down the middle. I believe the fans have a valid argument. However, at some point, something's got to give here. I can't stand the rest of my weeks or the rest of the year opening up YouTube and seeing a plethora of fucking Star Wars videos about the same goddamn thing every fucking day. You know, if I could count on, if I had a nickel for every video I've seen with Kathleen Kennedy in the title about being fired, even though, you know, that's only a rumor, at least up to this point, it's been a rumor, I'm going to lose it. It's like, I understand the fans don't... Look, I didn't like The Last Jedi. I thought it was garbage. I didn't see Han Solo or Solo, a Star Wars story, but I had no interest in watching it, and from what I am hearing, it wasn't that great either. There comes a point where you gotta move on. See, this is the difference between a Godzilla fan and a Star Wars fan. A Godzilla fan will accept the end of Godzilla at whatever point it comes and move on to something else. You know, move on to something else they like. A Star Wars fan just can't seem to let go. I know The Last Jedi was garbage. That's it. It's there. It's done with. There's nothing you're going to do about it. They're not going to redo it. They're not going to retweak it. They're not going to remove it from the damn, you know. You guys, look, I'm not defending the production team because they are fucking hard too. And their SJW movement and the whole whatever they're doing is a big mess. But Star Wars fans, it's time to check yourself. You deserve this shit. You deserve this. Plain and simple. You guys shit all over the prequels. You shit all over George Lucas. You shit all over Jake Lloyd. Probably almost you shit all over Jar Jar Binks. You guys drove these people bananas. What did you expect was going to happen? This is called karma. This is what you get. Star Wars is for better or worse, has to be made like any other movie. It has to please the general fan base. Now, the general fan base, more or less, likely, did not like The Last Jedi either. Nobody did. Let's be honest. The reason it made so much money is because of the first week it came out, everybody rushed to see it. That's why it made so much money. And then whatever people missed it the first week went back and saw it again. But if you talk to every Star Wars fan, they all have their own opinion of how things should have turned out. And you're not. There's just too many different scenarios. However, they all may be similar in one way or another. They're all, for the most part, very different at one point in terms of storyline or certain events that should happen or whatever. There was a time that I was a huge Star Wars fan. I can never forget the time that I was a kid for Halloween and I dressed up as an Ewok. I was into it. Now I could give such shit about Star Wars because of this war. You know, seeing videos like, oh, you know, we're the resistance or we're the rebels and we're winning. And it's like, really? Like, what else is there right now going on? Like, isn't there other like, you just had a great Marvel movie in in the Avengers. All right, I heard Ant-Man was pretty good. Haven't gotten a chance to see it yet. There's so much other entertaining related media in terms of movies and shows and all that stuff. Why just be stuck on Star Wars? Like, I'm a passionate Godzilla fan, but I have lived without Godzilla. And I had lived with the idea that not every Godzilla movie's going to be something I like. And I have lived with the fact that whether it be Toho or America, that I have had, yes, my opinion of how a Godzilla movie should be made without shitting on the Godzilla movie creators. You understand? I've trolled, yes. I do that more to get at the fans, but for the most part, there's always work there to be appreciated. And I'm accepting the fact that this hot Godzilla run is primed to end at some point. And when it does, whether the movie sucks or whether the movies are great, I'm going to walk away happy that as a kid growing up a Godzilla fan from the age of 4 all the way till now, pushing 40, okay, that I have had 36 years, all broken up though, in between, of Godzilla content that I can be happy about. But I don't understand why Star Wars fans cannot seem to accept the idea that it's not always going to be perfect. It's not always going to be what you want. And yes, I don't agree with the approach that they're doing right now, but you know, there is some such thing, I guess, as karma, because you know, there was a lot of work put into those prequels. People shitted on them so hard. People shitted on the actors, shitted on George Lucas. And now you're getting something that's worse. I mean, I hear people looking back now and loving the prequels, like, oh my God, I appreciate the prequels so much more now. Well, it's too late for that. It's too late. This is what you're getting. I don't agree with it, but then again, it's not going to hurt me. Basically, this is how it goes. If you don't like something, ignore you'll do more damage to them walking away than you will by keep fighting and fighting and fighting, because they've already made it clear they're gonna, the more you fight, the more they're just gonna try and piss you off. Because you want to know something? Like it or not, when that next Star Wars movie releases, because nobody, I don't think Han would have done well regardless. I really don't. But when that episode 9 releases, especially with JJ behind it, people can talk all the shit they want. They're gonna run to see it. They're gonna run to see it. You'll put money right back in their pockets. It's the same thing with gaming. People complain about certain games and development and all this and all that, but they still go out and they spend the money. This is why game development companies still do the same shit over and over and over. Because people are really, their word is worth a shit. You know what I mean? Like, you can sit here, cry and banter all you want. This is the funny thing about the internet. People will sit there and talk shit, talk smack, cry, rant, all this and all that about how much they hate, how much they're never going to do this, they'll never put money in it again. When you know they're going to do it, why? Because nobody knows who the fuck they are. Nobody cares who the fuck they are. And no one's going to call them out on it. Why? Because they don't know you. You have you're anonymous on the internet. So you could rant and rave on one platform and then get up 5 minutes later, buy a ticket to Star Wars and head to the movies, and nobody would know anything. This is why these things keep happening. Nobody keeps their word. Most people, I don't want to say everybody, because there are people out there who keep their word. You know what I mean? But most people, they have their ass and their mouth are like twins because they both release shit. Everybody likes to talk shit. Nobody likes to keep their word or back up their word. So I don't think fighting the production company is going to even help. Like, I don't even think people ranting and raving about them is going to help anything. You know, even if you don't go to the movies, great. You know, that's fine. That's one way to do it, to send a message. But I think just walking away completely, I think completely ignoring them, completely just moving on to something else, I think that's the most effective way to do it. I think that's the most, because the more you fight them, the less chances you're going to get what you want, because they're going to put things in there just to spite you. Why? Because they know at least 30 to 50% of you are still going to go watch it. And that's the truth. That, I mean, as bad as Han Solo did, compared to many other movies, it still did well. You know, it didn't do well by Star Wars standards, but I mean, I don't really think anyone was that interested in Solo. I really don't. And I think Disney screwed up and released it too soon after The Last Jedi, which from a fan standpoint did not do well. Even though critics gave it flying colors. I think if they released Han a little bit later on in the year, I bet you it would have done better. My opinion. You know, I wasn't interested in watching it to begin with because I'm just not. I was never much of a Han Solo fan anyway. I was more into like Darth Vader and, you know, Luke and stuff like that, and then Obi-Wan and all that. You know, I wasn't really into Han Solo. You know, I was a kid. I liked the lightsaber fights. But this is where I wanted to take a moment to kind of applaud Godzilla fans, because every time somebody does a video, whether it's me or some other content creators, we always talk about how toxic the fan base is. But I want to take this opportunity now, after looking at all this shit going on with Star Wars, I really do want to thank the fan base in a spectrum of how they can deal with and accept how Godzilla has come in and out of their lives throughout the years. You know, we've had great runs, and then we have a drought, and then we have a great run, and we have a drought. And we seem to always appreciate it for better or for worse because, you know, we never know if we're going to get it again. You know, and it's amazing that Star Wars fans haven't turned out that way, because they have gone through something very similar in terms of they get movies and then there's a drought, and then they get movies and there's a drought. But as the more it seems to progress for them, it seems the less appreciative the fans are. Where in the Godzilla sense, I find it that Godzilla fans tend to be a little bit more appreciative of how Godzilla has come in and out. And we all know that this run is going to end soon. You know, we all hope that there might be another movie. We all hope and pray that this sequel is going to be fantastic. But at the end of the day, when it's all said and done, whether we like it or not, whether we get more or we don't, I think when a Godzilla run tends to end, the Godzilla fan tends to appreciate what they got, for better or for worse, and then they move on. They don't linger, they don't cry or bitch about it for the most part. They move on. And then if something else drops with Godzilla 5, 10, 15 years later, everybody's back on the hype train. So I just want to make this a kudos to Godzilla fans for maintaining and not taking for granted when you do get Godzilla stuff versus when we don't, and appreciating it for what it is, regardless if it's something you are fully behind or not. Because I'm looking at the Star Wars shit, and I got to tell you, I want nothing to do with Star Wars anymore. This is just fucking, between the producers and this crazy-ass fan base, and I said it on The Nation, I said, fuck them both. I'm in G mode right now. I don't give a fuck about Star Wars. Once Comic-Con comes in 2 weeks, and like I said, we're going to talk all about that on Wednesday night. Once that comes, I'm not going to give a fuck about Star Wars. I'll barely give a fuck about Marvel. Godzilla takes precedence off of all of that. It doesn't mean I'm not going to see Marvel movies, but if I had a weekend where there's Thanos sequel, you know, the Avengers sequel, and if Godzilla happened to be released that same weekend, I'm going to go see Godzilla first. Even though I know everybody might run to see Avengers first, and everybody might, you know, Godzilla will never beat Avengers on the same weekend. That'll never happen. But before I see Avengers, you damn sure I go to see Godzilla. But luckily, they're on separate weekends, about a month apart, so don't have to worry about that. But anyway, guys, I just kind of wanted to express myself on that because it's amazing just how nasty the Star Wars thing is getting. And I wish the fans would just walk away. Just accept the fact that you know, you're part of the reason this is happening. You know, again, I don't agree with anything the production team. I'm not even taking their side. They're just as shitty. You know, I said it in my last video that was about, what, how long is this one now? We're going on 20 minutes. That one was almost an hour. I had to cut it down to like half hour. I said it there. They're no better. They shouldn't be treating their customers the way they're treating them. But this is a production company that's just not going to take your shit like George Lucas, Jake Lloyd, and everybody else did back in the 2000s. They're just not going to take your shit. That doesn't make them right. They're not right. I'll tell you that right now. They're not right. But this is the battle they decided to fight. And I don't think they're, you know, we don't know their numbers. And they don't seem to be too worried about losing money if they're talking back to you guys. So might want to just take another step and maybe just completely walk away from Star Wars and understand that there's other IPs out there that you guys can get behind and have fun with. It's not all about Star Wars. Star Wars it was fun. It was great, but it's turned into a shit show now. I want nothing to do with it. And if you Star Wars fans really want to get something out of this, I suggest you just walk away. Just forget, just act like Star Wars doesn't exist. Believe me, that'll affect them more than fight bickering back and forth. You're not going to get the last word. Take the high road, walk away, live on the greatness of the original trilogy, maybe some parts of the prequels, and that first movie in Rogue One, because those, to me, seem to be the best ones out of the new movies that have come out. So anyway, guys, that's it for this video. So don't forget, Wednesday night, all G, all the time, live stream, 9 p.m., Friday between 9 and 9:30, probably 9:30. I will be on Twitch. I will be streaming Final Fantasy Break Exvius. There's a big banner coming out, and I want to do some polls. But we can also still talk about Godzilla and that kind of stuff. So hope to see you guys there. For those of you who are trying to get on the Nation, give it some thought. Maybe consider joining Patreon. It'll help me out. The more help I get, the more I can branch out on this channel, you know, and do more things. And you'll get access to the Nation Facebook page. You meet a lot of great people who have many different interests, not just Godzilla. And you can interact with me as well, because I'm there all the time. Until then, this is Rob signing off for E.T.N, where we don't do news, we just talk entertainment. Take it easy.
Thank you for watching E.T.N. Click here to watch more content. Or you can click here to become an E.T.N patron. Don't forget to leave a comment. Also, make sure you like and share this video. If you want to know when the next video is up, click the notification bell next to the subscribe button. And most of all, make sure to click that subscribe button for regular content.